Welcome to the channel. I'm Zoe Wafelbakker and this is Living in Austin. Today we are going to talk about the pros and cons of living in Austin. Good, bad and the ugly. So let's get to it. Hey guys, I'm Zoe Wafelbakker with Agape Property Group here in Austin. If it's your first time to the channel, thank you for checking us out. Make sure that you hit that subscribe button and that notification bell next to it so that you're notified when we upload a video. And we're doing that every week. We're uploading you videos about what it's like to live, work, eat, play, all the things so that you know before you move. So as much as we love making these videos, we are licensed realtors here in Austin and we love helping people even more in buying a home and finding a community. We've done it ourselves, we know how hard it can be, and it's an absolute pleasure being able to help people move nationally and internationally. So make sure that you get in contact with us. Drop us an email, text, give us a call. We're the ones that answer the phone and we'd love to help you on your next move. So today we are talking about the pros and cons of living in Austin. Now, because it's not all sunshine and unicorns here, so we do need to talk about those cons. I've got a big old list in front of me, so stick with me. It will be worth it, trust me. The number one pro, I have to say, is going to be there's so much to do. There is so much to do in Austin. So let's get on some of the cultural things first. You've got the Bullock Texas State Museum. That's pretty cool. We're the capital. Did you know we are the capital of Texas? So you can visit the Capitol building, and the grounds there are awesome as well. You've also got the Blanton Art Gallery, as well as a whole bunch of other art galleries as well. You have the library. Random, I know, not one you probably expected, but the library, downtown library, is over 200,000 square feet. It's got like 6 levels. You can grab a coffee from downstairs, sit out on a terrace, read a book. Awesome thing to do. Now, if you're heading out and about, which a lot of people are doing when they're here, you've obviously got Town Lake. You know, you've got paddleboarding, you've got kayaking, you can go for a run or a walk around Town Lake. That's great. You've got Barton Creek Greenbelt, which is super cool to go and check out for you hikers or mountain bikers. Then just the swimming holes in general. You've got all the public pools, but then you've got the cool places like Barton Springs, Hamilton Pool, Krause Springs, go out to Jacob's Well, awesome places. Oh, let's not forget Deep Eddy as well, that's a winner. Looking at my list here, what else have we got? You've also got, cool things around downtown. You've got like the Nature and Science Center. If you have small humans, they might really enjoy going to that. And within that area, you also have the Botanical Gardens and of course Zilker Park as well. There's a pretty cool disc golf course in Zilker Park as well. So if you want to do something a bit different, we're awesome on disc golf and have some cool places around. Then if you're going a little bit further south, we've got Austin Zoo. Now this is a pretty cool zoo because it's all rescue animals. And you know, I took my son there the other day and he loved it. Tortoise was his favorite, randomly. The Wildflower Center is gorgeous as well. And if you're a cyclist, we have the awesome Veloway, which is a 3-mile loop, no cars obviously, and actually only wheels are allowed on it. So you will see like some roller skaters on there as well as the cyclists, but that's awesome to do. And then let's not forget some of the big things that we actually sometimes miss, overlook because they're kind of obvious, but the bats. Now, we've only ever seen the bats once. we've tried about 6 times. So if you are visiting before moving here, good luck. No, between March and October are kind of your key times to go and see them. We personally saw them in October. You see South Congress Bridge lined up with people trying to view them. They come out at dusk and it is a wave, like millions of bats coming in under the bridge. And it is absolutely phenomenal. Now, if you're not that keen on standing out on the bridge, you can stay at one of the nice hotels that overlook the bridge. And by chance, that's how we got to see them last year, was that way, because it really was by chance. And then the other obvious things are music. Yes, we're the live capital music of the world. This is the place to come to if you want live music, and this isn't just like Friday and Saturday night or Thursday, Friday, Saturday night. You could be at a bar on a Tuesday night and there'll be like 10 people there and there'll be live music. It's just all around. It is the culture, it's the vibe of the place. There's always music, and that is so cool to be around. So if you are coming to visit, make sure that you go to a place where they are playing music. It's pretty much going to be guaranteed anyway. So that's really, really cool. Now, then you've got UT. If you're here for a game, you can go to UT and check out a game. We've also got Austin Football Club. So go and check out a game there as well. And we've got Round Rock Express as well. So if you want to go up there, up to Round Rock Way and check out a game up there, that's super cool to do. Now, I want to keep you interested. So if you're not interested in any of that and shopping is more your thing, you've got to check out the Domain. It's cool. It is amazing place for shopping, some really lovely high-end shops as well as the H&Ms. So really great mix. You can make a whole day of it there, have a couple of drinks, get some food. It's super, super cool. And there's some really cool things like the ice cream museum there at the moment. And there's also a very cool gallery, selfie gallery as well. So that's when you can spend the whole day there. So that's further north. And then you've got by 360 Barton Square Mall, and then further out west you have the Galleria. Now, not to forget the outlets. We've got 2 of them relatively close by. One's up in the Tanger outlets, premium outlets up in Round Rock, and the other one down in San Marcos as well. So, there's a whole mix for you to do. Now, I'll leave it there because it could go on forever. So now I'm going to hit into our first con. With so many cool things to do, it's no wonder that so many people are moving here, guys. And we have about 150 people moving here a day, according to the Chamber of Commerce. Now, with that, yeah, it's a con. Where it's the real con is the impact it's having on the city with regards to our infrastructure, because I've said it before, Austin wasn't ever built to be big. It's a little city that got big, and so our public transport isn't the greatest, and so there's a lot more cars here, and then there's the I-35, which is just always backed up. Or there's Mopac. That's got a little bit better over the years with the expressway on it, but there's not the infrastructure to hold so many people. So you do have that traffic, okay? And the public transport just isn't there. So that's something to be aware of. All right, let's hit on another pro, and that is the weather. If you're here in Austin between like October and May, it is amazing. We have a beautiful fall, incredible winters with like the winter temperatures. The lows you're going to be sitting in like the 40s and the highs are in the 60s. And so that's just lovely. And it's like sunny days, blue skies, and you're outside all the time. You're not cooped up. We did have in February a big old snowstorm, so it does happen. Our infrastructure for that one isn't quite the best, but that's probably another topic to hit on all by itself. Now, getting on to the con. It's the weather. So for the rest of the year, if you're going from basically the middle of May through to that October again, you know, it's hot, it's humid, and the temperatures there that you're looking at are a low of your 70s and highs of your 90s, you know, between the actual summer months. And not to say that you are going to also have temperatures that go up to like 105, 110, and you might have that for, you know, a few days in a row. So yep, it is hot, it is humid, and you've got air conditioning for that, which is super important, and you've got a lot of places to be able to cool off for it as well. All right, another pro for you, and that is the spring. Spring is amazing, spring is beautiful. The amazing thing about Austin is that we're surrounded by the hill country. You've got rolling hills, green, and the wildflowers are spectacular. So you be driving just down Mopac, for example, and there's amazing bluebonnets spread out across the highway, and going into the hill country, you know, there's bluebonnets, there's Indian paintbrushes, I think that's what they're called, and a whole host of other amazing wildflowers. And I think we've got old Ladybird Johnson to thank for that, because back in the 60s, she declared the wildflower or the highway beautification project, and so the wildflowers were sprinkled everywhere across America, especially near her hometown of Johnson City, and so we have these amazing wildflowers. So that is gorgeous. There's some super cool festivals as well up in Burnett that are dedicated to wildflowers. We'll put the link down below so you can check that out if you're here in April. Now on to another con. I don't like doing the cons. The bugs. Oh yeah, everything's bigger in Texas, especially those bugs. Okay, we're in nature, you're gonna have bugs, okay? So you've got, it's not just the bugs that you expect, but it's just, there's other random flying things that you don't quite expect. Now, they're probably not dangerous to you at all. The ones you need to keep an eye out on are your scorpions, although I wouldn't classify a snake as a bug, but you do keep an eye on those. Make sure that you keep your lawn, your backyard mowed, and then of course the mosquitoes, guys. Yeah, humidity, lots of water around, we have mosquitoes. There's really not much of a way to get around them. They're here, you've got to put up with them. Now the other thing that you may not know about is fire ants. Now when we do get rain, we get a lot of rain, and those boys come out after the rain. So you find in your yard these big mounds. My recommendation is never put your foot in them, because they're fire ants and they sting. There's a whole host of other bugs as well, something to be aware of, and you know, it's a bit of a con, I have to say that. All right, got another pro for you, and that's a space. There is so much more space here, especially if you're moving from a big old built up city. So one of the things that we really love is with the houses here, yeah, sure, if you're not up to the upkeep of a big backyard, you know, you can find, you know, smaller backyards, even if it is a big house. But if you want like to be sitting on an acre or half an acre, that's totally doable. And you're not a million miles out of Austin either. There's some really awesome subdivisions, communities that are like 25 minutes to downtown, and the homes, the older style homes especially, are sitting on like an acre, and that is awesome. So yep, big plus on the space in Austin. This one has to be brought up. I don't want you to be surprised when you get here, and that is the allergies. Big old con, and I'm pretty lucky because I don't get hugely affected by them, but some people are really affected by them. And the nasty, really cruel thing is they're all year round. So let's name them out. In the summer, you've got the grass. Okay, people cutting their grass all the time really affects you. I've got on my list here, I can check my list. In the fall, you've got the ragweed, and that is as nasty as it sounds. And they especially nasty because they release their pollen in the evening. And so at this beautiful time of the year where you might be sitting outside and having a glass of wine and enjoying the cool temperatures, you might be like wondering like why your eyes are itchy, why your nose starts running, and it's there. Ragweed, annoying in the fall. Keep an eye on that one. And then you've got winter. That is the infamous cedar fever. Now, the cedar fever, it kind of, the symptoms rival the flu. Really, they knock people out. And like laid up in bed for a couple of days. And some people don't like kind of think to themselves, especially the first year that you're here, it's like, nah, surely, like this has got to be the flu. No, those symptoms really do knock you out. And the pollen, actually, you'll be seeing a clip coming on in a second. The pollen explodes. Like there's like dust, like pollen dust exploding off the trees. So it's no wonder people get affected by it. And then finally, it's not the last one, but the other big one that is going to affect you in spring, and you'll see it and you'll wonder what on earth it is, but there's this like yellow dust over everything, over your car, on your house, and that yellow dust is all thanks to the oak. So you get affected by that as well, and it's impossible to keep your car clean if it's outside all the time. So that's kind of crazy. And the one that is just around a lot, and that's mold. We have pretty high levels of mold around. So yeah, there are some pretty cool like Texas cedar fever drops that you can get. They actually make a special drop just for cedar, and a whole bunch of other things. You'll find your concoction that kind of works for you, but it can really ruin a day. So big old con on that one. So here's a fun one for you guys, and it's another pro. Austin's super dog friendly, and that's awesome. It might have something to do with the fact that we do have that space, so your canine can run around outside a little bit more, have a bit of space to do that. And also because of all the hiking trails around, it's really dog friendly. But I think Austin goes a step ahead, a step above that, and it's even in the shopping malls. And I was in Lululemon the other day at Barton Square Mall, and there were like two dogs, one super cute Frenchie, and some other random dog. But like certainly where I kind of came from, like I'd never used to see dogs in shopping malls, and it's not even, people don't even blink at it. It's so common. Going to restaurants, going to bars, and they cater for them. They always have like little dog bites and dog bowls, and that's really cool. So that's a nice one for you guys out there that have dogs. Now, on to a bit of a con, and it's really obvious, and I feel silly saying it, but it's something to consider. Especially if you are, playing with the idea of either coming to Austin or Houston. And we don't have a coastline. I know, it's obvious, isn't it? We have lots of water and lots of access to water, but we don't have that coastline. So if that's important to you, like going fishing and stuff like that, then really weigh up the pros and cons with the likes of Houston. What we do have, is access. We can easily get to the coast. Obviously you can get to Galveston, and then what a lot of Austinites or importees of imports to Austin go to is Port A, which is Port Aransas, and that's only like a 3.5-4 hour drive from here, and so it's a good spot to go for maybe a weekend or a long weekend. Great there. And then you've got South Padre Island. Now I'd probably go there for a bit of a longer stretch of time because you're looking at about 4.5, 5 hours to drive there. You can fly as well. So another awesome spot to go to if you're wanting to get the sand in your toes. Well, would it say, turning this con into a pro, the upside, especially being in Texas, of not being so close to the coastline there, is we haven't had the hurricanes. We haven't been impacted we weren't as impacted by Hurricane Harvey as like Houston was, and other storms that come through. So that is one positive from it. So yeah. Now continuing on places to kind of go, like going to Port A or South Padre. Another pro is that exactly. There are loads of places that you can go to within a couple of hours from Austin, and that's awesome. So you've obviously got your big cities. So if you're not getting your big city feel from Austin, you've got Houston, you've got Dallas, 3.5, 4 hour drive away. San Antonio, just down the way, only an hour, depends on where you're living, from Austin. Yep, you can hit the coast as well, of course, I said that. But then if you just want to do kind of day trips, you've got Waco, drive up there. Got Fredericksburg, go see the wine district. You can go out to Kerrville. We've gone to Kerrville quite a few times. There's a Yogi Bear resort there. We've got Lake Travis. Now, I haven't mentioned that, but Lake Travis is awesome. So that's like typically a 45-minute journey for anyone to go to, or you could just live there and still be close to Austin. There are loads of places. Now, it might take, 8 to 12 hours to get out of Texas to drive, but we do have super cool places that are close by. Also, we've got a pretty cool airport, and I just checked this month. I'm filming this in November. There are 94 direct flights internationally and nationally that go out of Austin Airport. So that's cool, I flew in once did an Austin San Diego trip, and I went for 2 days, I think. It was so quick, so easy, and you've got loads of places, 94 of them, where you can fly out of. So big plus on that one. All right, we're on to the last one, guys. Now this could be a pro or a con. It's ultimately going to depend on where you are coming from. So that is affordability. Now, Austin used to be ranked as one of the most affordable places in the US to live, and it's not any longer. A recent Zillow report reported that Austin is 7th least affordable city in the nation. So that's a far cry from where we were at a few years ago. Now, affordability, it's not just down to the house prices. There's a lot of aspects. However, it is a decent benchmark to look from. So as of the last report from the Austin Board of Realtors, which was dated September, the average house price for Austin Round Rock area was $564,000. And that figure has increased by 30% in the last 12 months. So you'll see home prices that have increased by between 30 and 40% in the last 12 months. And that has a massive impact on, yes, the house price, but also the taxes, because your property taxes are based on the appraised value of the home. So there are always going to be a lot of aspects that affect your affordability, and it's not just that house, but there's gas, there's daycare, there's just the running of a house, the electric, we have air conditioning on for the most part of the year. There are so many things that have that impact on the affordability. We did do a whole video on this, so check that out. It will come up on the end of the screen when this is finished, and you can dig deep on what it really costs to live in Austin, so you can know before you move. With that being said, guys, we're done. And if you want any details, any extra details, things that I haven't covered that you'd love to learn about, make sure that you reach out to us, ask. Our email's below, phone, text. Get in touch with us. Between Mark and myself, we're the ones that answer the phone. We're the ones that answer the emails. We would love to hear from you and hear what your plans are and see how we can help in your move here. So until the next video, guys, take care. See you later.